The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. Good evening and welcome to the show. They are the premier institution responsible for law and order throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Royal Bahamas Police Force has been an established institution who prides itself on decades-old legacy of keeping the Bahamas safe. In recent years seem to be challenged with the quality of officers and the ability to embrace integrity by some. It's led to a breakdown in community partnership and relationship with the public when matters of corruption, questions of excessive force, and unprofessional behavior crept in all too frequently. But in comes a decorated senior officer pulled from leave who says he is determined to restore the dignity, respect, and effectiveness of policing nationwide. The Commissioner of Police, Clayton Fernandez, is hoping his leadership will translate into a stronger, more honored police force. He's here tonight to take our questions about whether he can turn the force around and the ins and outs of policing that you may not be aware of. It's a real candid conversation tonight, and we've got the rundown for you. But first, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis says his administration's crime strategies are causing a slight increase, or decrease I should say, in crime. While speaking to reporters earlier today at the office of the Prime Minister, he revealed the country is making progress as it relates to major crimes, but noted murder is still an area of concern. He says he has been informed that the murder rate can be largely attributed to gangs and drugs, but says he believes the government strategies are working against them.
Satisfied that those strategies are working, though it's not having the gains that we expected immediately. They're working, and if you examine some of the criminal activities that's taking place, you'll see the decline in a number of those areas. We are still concerned that the headline in crime is the murder rate, and we continue to try to prevent as many of those as we can. We think we are making progress. I think our 5 pillars towards the fight towards crime is working. Just a question of ensuring that we have the resources, continuing resources, to ensure that it is effective.
Please welcome Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez. Police Commissioner Fernandez, welcome to the Rundown. Great to have you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Clint, and I just wanted to commend you for the great job that you continue to do in broadcasting.
Thank you. I like that. I like how you're massaging me. I'm still going to go tough on you today. Welcome to the show. Let's start right into it, because there's so much we want to talk about when we talk about policing. And of course, I want to start right there. Prime Minister talked about it today, about strategies towards crime. And I guess I want to start with an all-out question. Is the country safe?
Absolutely, Clint. The country is safe, and what we are seeing is the fear of crime. It is very high within the communities, and what is fueling that? You're talking about the gang turf war, and you're talking about criminals who continue to offend. Mm-hmm. And what we are doing is that we continue to go after the criminals. We continue to be out there. The fear of crime, they are too bold. They are bold with their approach. You see shootings in broad daylight.
Yeah,
on the light. They're pretty much on broad daylight, and they're coming too bold, and it's happening too regular. But we are on our game, and we are continuing to partner with members of the public to curb this situation. Our saturation patrol, they are working. They are coming from different divisions. Every division have a team that is out there at one given time, and we looked at the data, the time that these crimes continue to happen, and you see that every division, if you go in Bain Town, You see a number of vehicles moving about. You go on Camp Road, you see the same operation. And you know, sometime on social media, you'll say, we see officers all over the place. Don't go that way because officers are having road checks. So we continue to be visible out there, continue to connect with members of the public who continue to assist in this fight.
You have a number of things, I guess I should say, a number of programs, a number of initiatives, a number of special strikes that you put out there to try and deal with the elements that contribute to crime. Firearms, also ammunition, all of those things. Are you seeing the success that you would like to see, particularly with these particular units, and are you seeing them lead to a reduction, or are we still seeing an increase, particularly in armed robberies?
You're seeing, based on the armed robberies thus far for the year, armed robbery is down. At this point, we have a total of 205 armed robbery that reported for the year, to compare with 277 last year.
So that's a big chunk.
Around this time, absolutely. And you could see the recovery of firearms. We continued the firearms task force unit. It is working. We are partnering with ATF, our U.S. partners. Thus far for the year, we have almost doubled this period last year with the recovery of firearms.
What's leading to that? What's causing that?
Well, intel and officers out there on the streets, that aggressive stop and search. And we are finding persons, individuals with firearm in the car moving from point A to B to commit crime. So that aggressive stop and search and presence out there is key to this fight.
Where are these firearms coming from? I mean, it's a story we do all the time as journalists. So firearms, we don't manufacture them here, so that means they have to be imported. What is your latest intelligence telling you? Because we always say, okay, we're in a transshipment zone, but where are these guns coming from?
Well, our intel is telling us that it's coming right next door to us, our U.S. partners. Right there, it's coming from there. I will tell you, one of the weapons that was traced, that was recovered and traced back to the U.S., it was purchased like today and used in the commission of a crime, a murder, the very next day.
Wow.
So you could see how quickly, and that is troubling, that a weapon could be purchased in the U.S. today and used in the commission of a crime in Nassau the very following day.
How did it get here?
We can't say, but we believe, and based on our intel, we know that they are coming in through couriers. We know that they are coming in through the shipping companies, appliances are coming in vehicles, and sometimes you see it coming in parts. They will break it down, wrap it, put it in different boxes, even this cereal box, and well packaged and sealed. And we have recovered a number of firearms like that.
How are you able to curtail that? For example, if we have it's big business now in our country, shipping. Everybody's shipping, people now shipping companies, and so now it's no longer just a central location or where a customs officer may be posted. So many shipping companies have it. But isn't there a checkpoint when goods that come to shipping companies are checked? Why are we not able to plug that loophole?
It's such a vast area, and that is something that we are looking at this time. We have on board our task force unit, ATF. We are partnered with them, and from the border from the U.S. that transit here to New Providence, we are working together now to try to curtail that, and you could see that we have a lot of success. The record is there thus far for the year. Based on our collaboration, we are getting successful.
At one point, people said because of our open water borders and all of these yachts that come in, some of these pleasure yachts may be also used to bring in that. Have your intelligence found that to be true?
Yes, it happened right in our port at in the areas in the
Paradise Island Port,
and the marina, and those
the
areas.
marina ports, Atlantis Marina.
We have discovered a number of firearms in vessels that came
the big pleasure yachts.
And right even at our airport, came in through our custom areas where it's secured, and packages, sealed packages.
And they're trying to bring it through the airport.
They tried to bring it through the airport.
Is it because, and do you believe that these are people who are involved in crime, or are these people who just facilitate and do it as a business and then say, okay, I'm out of it?
It is a big business, and we find that some of our very own who have dual citizenship who lives in the U.S. and they partner with individuals here, and they shipped and get into the hands of the bad actors.
I see online, one of our Lions Den viewers, Nadia Bain, posed a serious question. I kind of stand with her on this. Nadia Bain says, so customs officers can possibly be involved in these unlawful entries. Do you believe there is some support from, you know, from persons who work in these environments, whether the shipping port, whether it's customs, whether, you know, where they may be, that they are aiding in these things happening?
Well, we can't rule it out, Clint. We can't rule it out. Some time ago, we was able to charge individuals who worked around those areas, so we can't rule it out. And where we find officers breach, we deal with them.
I want to take a break. When we come out, we're going to talk about electronic monitoring, and then I'm going to dive all in. We're going to talk about unethical behavior, and of course, the big recent case that brought some light to the police force, the investigations at CDU. I'm going to take it on with you, so you ready for it?
Absolutely.
All right, you're not going to try to slip out the door?
No, sir. Let's
all right, we're going to go to commercial break, and we'll be back. Head on. You're watching The Rundown. We're back after this. Stay close.
JMC TCI and Sunset Village Fish Fry present I'm a Boatman, featuring KB and Fred, D-Mac, Tino D, Nishi Ellis, Sweet Emily, Wilfred Sullivan, Funky D, DVS, Veronica Bishop, Papa Smurf, Sherrod Taylor, Lil Joe Cartwright, Mama D, Colin McDonough, Chad Cully, and the VIP. And from Turks Island, the Proficient Band, and host Super P. There'll also be performances by The Swinger and the Platinum Nights Junkanoo Group. Sunday, October 13th at Sunset Village Fish Fry, 8 Mile Rock. Sponsored by the Ministry for Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Tourism.
Welcome to our SBDC Business Tips, where we share valuable insights with small business owners. From practical advice to actionable tips, we're here to support you on your journey to success. Network, network, network. Networking is a powerful tool for entrepreneurs. Building relationships with other business owners, industry professionals, and potential customers can open doors to new opportunities, collaborations, and valuable insights. Attend networking events, join industry associations, and use social media to expand your network. Networking is more than just exchanging business cards. It's about fostering meaningful relationships that can propel your personal and professional growth as an entrepreneur. We hope you find these business tips helpful. To help your business reach its full potential, visit SBDCBahamas.com or give us a call at 242-461-SBDC.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Welcome back to The Rundown. My guest tonight is the Commissioner of Police. I went to say Paul Fox, and I don't know what Paul Fox is, but Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando. And of course, a special welcome to all of you in the Lions Den joining us online. It's so good to have you all with us. And of course, go ahead and send your questions, your comments to me, and I will get them out to the Commissioner tonight as we go through our conversation. Before the break, we were talking about the challenge you have with guns and illegal firearms, all of these weapons coming in through couriers coming in, being shipped in. So partnering is obviously very very important in order to be able to detect that. Are you seeing the kind of partnership?
Yes, as I indicated, we have formed a task force unit, which include customs, which include ATF, our U.S. partners. We have immigration on board, and that unit is set up at headquarters. And so we are all partnering in this fight to ensure that we able to limit weapons coming into our country. Customs plays a big role in that.
They just changed their systems.
Yes,
they upgraded their
absolutely.
systems.
Is
that helping?
Yes, very much so. And we have a good working relationship, and that partnership is working, especially with our local partners and U.S. Partners.
Let's talk about electronic monitoring, because obviously that's been a challenge before. People on bail, people who are being electronically monitored, still committing crimes. Do you believe you've arrested this issue yet? Are we still having these same people who've been electronically monitored still commit a real offend?
Yes, we have since over the past 2 months now, the new company has since took over totally. They have control of all the various that are on the monitoring device. And it's working for us, although we had about 4 individuals who have cut off their monitor, but we were able to respond. We got tamper alert, and to be able to respond quickly. Either we find the device cut off. What they are doing, they are so crafty, as they cut the monitor, they are moving in vehicle. So time we catch up with them, it's already cut off and just thrown to the side of the street. And that's the kind of trend that we are seeing. Thus far for the year, we had 4 already cut off their monitor by using some cutting device.
I was about to ask you, is it that easy to be cut?
Yes, it's not as easy, but they spend some time, because you could see the tamper alert, and time we get to them, they know they can't stay in one particular area. So they are moving in the vehicle and they are cutting, and we know that it's cutting, so the time we catch up with them, they're already cut and thrown up.
About how many people you would say are being monitored?
We have a total of just over 500 and about 70 various that is being monitored.
Being monitored. Yeah. I want to talk, before I move on to the police itself, obviously domestic violence. A lot of these criminal acts are coming out of domestic violence situations. We're seeing people who know each other involved in crimes. How are you addressing that?
Well, Clint, that is something is dear to my heart, domestic violence, and we have a team. From I took office, I wanted a standalone domestic violence unit, and that violence unit, and that is well on the way. The building that we secured is under renovation. It's just about completed. Within another 2 months or so, just before the Christmas, we should be able to officially open that building. We have a number of officers who has been trained, not only locally but internationally, who has been trained. They have investigated just over 1,000 matters, cases thus far for the year.
That's a lot.
Yes, that's a lot. And we was able to held a number of seminars to various business places and NGOs. We were able to reach out to a number of them, and they wanted some intervention in educating members of the public, even our own officers. They were able to hold a number of sessions with our officers, because we know our officers, they too get into some instance from time to time, and we put on a number of training for our officers, and it's working for us, and we intend to assist the public as we move forward with this domestic violence unit. This is dear to my heart. We have to continue to protect especially our females. Don't forget the men too. We have incidents with males who are being assaulted as well.
By who?
By maybe other males, and if being abused by females as well.
That happens as well?
Yes, it does.
Interesting. I want to get to the story, and then I want us to talk about it because it's something that took place just recently with officers, a number of officers, and we want to be able to talk about it. It's a number of officers obviously appearing before the coroner yesterday in relation to several cases of police-involved killings. Let's take this report by Danielle Dean, and we'll come back and talk about it.
Some 12 officers involved in matters before the coroner's court, where jurors returned a homicide by manslaughter verdict, were each granted $9,500 bail with 1 or 2 sureties Wednesday by Coroner Cara Turnquest DeVoe. The cases date back to March of 2022 up to July of this year, involving deceased persons Zario Major, D'Angelo Evans, Shanton Forbes, Valentino Johnson, Gino Finley Jr., and Elron Stubbs. During the proceedings, a warrant of arrest was issued for 2 other officers who did not appear in court. One of the officers was reportedly out sick, but there was no sick slip before the court, while the other officer is believed to have absconded. Now, none of the officers were in court when the matter got underway, and the marshal suggested that it was an act of defiance, prompting the coroner to adjourn the matter for 10 minutes. When the case resumed, the 12 officers were present in court. All these cases will now be forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecutions, who will determine whether or not they will proceed with prosecution or discontinue the cases. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thank you, Danielle. So, Commissioner, let's talk about it. First of all, the officers didn't show up. They went to court. What does this really mean? And are officers going rogue?
No, Clint, it's not that the officers didn't show up. They were not properly informed.
Why weren't they informed?
Okay, they were not informed. We know that what documents came to my office during that time. I was across Paradise Island attending the conference, so I was not in office. Yes, I was not in office, so the summons did not get to me in time, and that was communicated, and it was agreed that they will appear the next day, and that's what happened.
So this was a procedural matter, not really we're now summoning these people to come to court. This was a matter of you not getting the summons for them,
yes,
and then she issuing
exactly, and
a clarion call.
Yes, and the 3 officers that did not appear on Wednesday, they are not serving officers. They were discharged from the force almost 2-3 years ago. So those 3 where warrants were issued, they are no longer a part of this organization.
Are you concerned that far too many officers are having to appear to answer the questions of how they would have executed their job? Are we seeing policing change over the years and become a little more of a concern to you as Commissioner, how police execute their jobs?
Yes, this is a professional organization, and we have to do just that, to be professional and to earn the trust of the Bahamian people. And we continue to say that to our officers. We continue to have training, the number of training for them. But when they go contrary, we deal with them.
People believe that the police is a fraternity. They protect their own. And while you may make lofty statements publicly, there is this protection internally that causes them to escape from what ordinary citizens would be faced with.
No, sir, I don't agree with you with that. As I indicated, nobody is above the law, and we have to work within the fines of the law. And when you go contrary, as indicated, you will be dealt with the full arms. But we don't try to, if you offend or you do something unethical, then you face the music.
I'm going to ask you, Commissioner, as Commissioner of Police, are there far too many cases of unethical activity on the police force that you would like to see?
It's based on what is reporting to our complaints unit. Yes, that is something that we have to remain focused with. Sometimes we found a lot of complaints which is unfounded. A number of them are unfounded, and those ones where there's evidence for us to proceed, we do just that.
Why do you think that there's these cases of unethical activity, more than what you would have seen in the past? It seems to happen all too frequent. Why do you think it is? Do you think it's the caliber that you now have to work with as far as recruiting officers? Do you think the policies are outdated and people are slipping through the crack? What is leading to officers being able to get away with unethical behavior initially?
Well, as Clint we know there's a number of officers and young officers that comes, and they are from right in our communities. They are our sons and they are our daughters. We continue to pay attention to that and to ensure that we don't leave our young officers alone by themselves. In some situation, you will find that, but we are continuing to focus on that to ensure that we have more leadership on the ground to ensure that the officers, especially the young officers, we note a trend in there that we have to continue to ensure that we have senior people on the ground and to ensure that they go in the right direction.
Another way to ensure that they conduct themselves accordingly is the body cams. Why aren't every officer wearing body cams so that you have evidence of how they conduct themselves?
Well, that's what we are trying to do as we speak. We have some body cams, but not to outfit every officer. And what we are doing now, we have some body cams on order so that we will be able to outfit every single officer with a body cam, even me as the commissioner of police.
Would you prefer to have every officer with a body cam?
Absolutely. It will protect the citizen and the officer himself.
Can an officer turn on or off a body cam?
Yes, he can. And that
Have you found that they've done that in certain cases?
Well, I haven't seen that. Sometime in the haste of moving into a scene, they may forget to turn on the body cam.
Are there consequences for that?
Yes, yeah, but sometimes because of what is going on at that particular time. Okay, trying to maybe save a life, but you don't see that on a regular.
All right, let's go to a break. And when we come back, I want to get into talking about the unethical behavior, continue with that out of the recent case that came up. We'll talk about that. We'll be back after this. Stay close.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Wondering where your favorite shows went? Well, they're still right here at ZNS with new times and some with new days. You can catch Chef Manny auditioning up on Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Shock Treatment gets your youth in order at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. The Legal Brief with Ramona Farquharson brings you the best legal advice on Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. And Gavel Slam, Case Closed. Justice with Judge Carroll is back on air Thursdays at 9 p.m. And on Thursdays at 9:30, Bonte and Nika B brings you The Drop. So welcome to the new ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital.
Where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
Welcome Welcome back to the Rundown, and good night to all of you in the Lion's Den. Those of you who are on YouTube, we understand we have over 1,000 of you on YouTube. Welcome to the Rundown. Thank you for joining us. We're talking to the Commissioner of Police. And of course, Commissioner, we were talking on the break about the body cams, and I want you to clarify so people understand. There are times when body cams are turned off, but they have to seek permission.
Yes, there's a policy on body cam, and they have to follow that policy because it may be a time when they want to maybe use the restroom,
right,
and that they will
turn it off for privacy. You know, the peep show going on. I get it.
All that. But when they are completed, they should be able to say that they're back on.
They're back on.
Yeah.
I want to go into. I'm getting some questions here. What kind of training these officers go through when they first go in for training, because they're not disciplined at all. There needs to be a longer program for training. This is on Bertha Smith online. Do you agree? How long is the training program for police?
The training program is 6 months, and I'm talking about extensive 6 months training program.
Do they test you? Do they come up to your face, antagonize you to see whether you have the self-control to stay quiet and stay calm? Because you know, I've been around, and I've, you know, as a young reporter, you know, I've antagonized a couple of them once or twice, and they, you know, the self-control ain't there. They speak to some people any kind of how. This power of authority that I am the police, I will, you know, we always like to use it as a defense and crutch. I can lock you up.
Yes.
Sometimes that's what escalates the issues with the public and the police officer. Officers are needing to understand how to de-escalate a matter without being a bully.
Yes, that is a part of our training. I could recall back in the day in 1982 when I was in training, and that's what happened. And we continue that, but you know, time has changed.
Yeah.
Times has changed, but that is important. That is important. We have to continue that. But you see that happen now in the training school. The 6 months, I think it's a lot of time. It's a lot of work within that 6 months. No playing around. 6 months is like, I think it's good time. At this present time, we have 200 recruits in training.
Right now?
Right now, 200
wow.
recruits. We have 100 in Grand Bahama and 100 in New Providence at this very time.
Let's turn to the recent issue. We're talking about unethical behavior. We understand the investigation has been opened against Chief Superintendent Johnson, who headed the Central Detective Unit,
yes,
because of voice notes that circulated. No doubt this created concern in the police force, particularly because here was an officer at a high rank responsible for dealing with crime,
yes,
and of course the voice notes allege that there might have been dialogue and involvement with people in that regard. The police force had said that, you know, we're not going to talk anymore, and people got concerned. Why make that statement? First of all, why did you make that statement?
Well, Clint, I was investigator now for the past 30-odd years investigation. I spend most of my time in the criminal investigation, not dealing with matters connected locally and internationally. And that is a part of our training, especially sensitive information like that. You don't want you want transparency in the matter. I know there's a lot of folks saying that the police can't investigate the police. But we have an area that just focus on investigating police officers. I'm talking with officers who are well trained. The public call for international assistance, for fair play, someone outside. We agreed with that, and I supported that. And what we are seeing now, the investigators are connected and has international partners on board, the UK and the FBI, which is on board. And we want to keep everything tight. And when the investigation is completed, the public will be fully updated. And where the chips have to fall, it will fall. We don't want to tamper with the investigation. We don't investigate in the media. They don't need to know every move that we have made. But the investigation is progressing very well. A number of witnesses have already been seen, and it's moving quickly. And
you said it's moving very well. What do you mean by it's moving very well?
when I say very well, they're progressing and seeing witnesses and putting the pieces together. Investigation is like a puzzle. As you move, you put a piece here, you put a piece here, and at the end of the day, you have a perfect photo, and they are nearing to that.
Do you believe you will be able to get the full story at the end of the day?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How much longer will the public have to wait?
But I won't put a timeline, but I'm certain shortly we will be able to.
This year?
Absolutely. We won't go no further than before this year. So.
How has this impacted the people of the police force?
Well, the officers, I had the opportunity to speak to a number of officers, and I asked my assistant commissioners who are in charge of a number of all of the division, and just speaking to the officers, it's a concern for them, but what they are indicating that let's rally together to protect the integrity and the legacy of this Royal Bahamas Police Force. Our forefathers will be turning over in their grave to see that this police force from 1840 has gone the other way. We decide that we will rally with each other and to rally with members of the public to assist in building the integrity of this Royal Bahamas Police Force.
There are a lot of persons online asking, and I want to ask it, are the investigators in town yet?
No, they are not in town, but the investigators, the chief investigators, is in communication with those individuals. Documents have already been sent, and they are viewing of them. The tapes are being assessed, so they are on board with what is going on.
Have you spoken to Chief Superintendent Johnson? I no doubt anybody who's put on leave with this going on. What is his state of mind?
Well, I can't say at this time, but we will continue to. I don't want to interfere with the investigation, and I don't want to prejudice what is going on. So I don't have that communication with him.
You've made that communication stay for the integrity investigation.
Exactly.
This, no doubt, has caused many people to wonder, are there other things going on in the police force that have been for years protected or undercover that is now coming to light? What do you say to that?
No, I won't agree with you with that, Clint, because you will see in the past that we continue to deal with our own if you go overboard. If you want to go with the criminals, then you go that way so we could lock you up as well, with them. You saw our own, who was a serving police officer, shot at his colleagues. He was off duty and shooting at his colleagues, and he was arrested and put before the court.
Integrity is important in the police force, and even government has said that it is important in the fight against crime that there is a level of trust that is maintained with the public. Do you enjoy the trust of the public at the level that you would like to see as Commissioner of Police?
Based on in recent times what has transpired, I think we have lost some of that trust, and I believe that we could build now on that, and there's a lot of work for us to do. We can't use one bad apple to spoil the bunch. We can't let one apple spoil the bunch, because there are a lot of hard working officers who go beyond the call of duty to ensure that the Bahamian people are safe and visitors who comes to our shore. I'm talking about on a daily basis. On a daily basis. So we can't stand by and let the good work of many officers just go down the drain for one bad apple.
When you talk about community partnerships and being able to find programs that help to address crime, there's a program that always comes up in the conversation called urban renewal.
Yes.
Is urban renewal working?
Absolutely, it is working. It is so sad, Clint, during the era of the former Prime Minister, Mr. Christie, where urban renewal was born. And then years later, it just went out of the door. And I believe we have lost so much during that period. Now the government has picked that up, and it's a whole government approach with this urban renewal. And an excellent program which is touching every community. We have urban renewal centers in every constituency, and we talk about the whole government approach. We are talking about the clear, whole, and build strategy by the government. That partnership with the Bahamian people and the government, and that whole approach, it's working. We have done since urban renewal came on stream. We have helped so many persons with repairs to their home. We went into Vaux Street and built a whole home for a gentleman who was sleeping in the car. And built a whole home. And I'm talking about officers from the urban renewal who have talent from our reserve section, who was able to partner with the community, who donated materials and were able to build a whole home for the gentleman and his family. And we continue to do that and continue to pay attention to our young people within the community, which is important because we are losing our young people on both sides of the coins as victims and accused at the same time.
Commissioner, how young have you seen perpetrators of crime? We're talking about urban renewal getting to our young people. How young have you had someone involved in crime?
As 5, 6 years.
What kind of crime did they commit?
He was in possession of bullets in school, not knowing nothing. And again, it goes back to the home, as we continue to say. He was in possession, brought it to school. A young man, 7, 8 years, brought drugs to school.
Drugs?
Brought drugs to school. You know, that is concerning for us. You have an individual, as we can continue to say, a young man who's just 16, I think he just turned 17 the other day, who was on bail for 2, 3 murders.
16, 17?
16, 17 years.
What is causing society to return these young people into criminals?
And that's where a lot of the young people are just growing up themselves. There's maybe one parent in the home, whether the mother, sometimes it's the father. But that is no excuse, because I'm a product of, I never had a father figure in the home. It was always my mom and my Grammy, and grew up in the heart of Bain Town, where criminal activities continue to happen day in, night out.
Wow.
And never once. She raised 4 boys.
So there ain't no excuse to say, I don't have a father in home while living in the city. Ain't no excuse.
No.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. You know, but again, if you leave the young kids unattended, the individuals who are involved in the life of crime will recruit these young people. They left unattended. So we are now trying to disrupt that. We have to be able to save our young people. And you see urban renewal on the ground to disrupt that if it do happen.
And you believe it's working?
Yes, it is working. The results is there. People are seeing the office in the community. They are helping the elderly people in the area. They're feeding the kids. They are feeding the less fortunate. So it's working in the area.
I want to give you this story and then talk about how your partnership internationally is helping to solve crime, even in our matters here, a serious matter of murder here. He was on the run for 7 years, but tonight he's in police custody, accused of killing a child and an adult male. Take a look at this story by Daniel Dean, and let's talk about
Perry Pickering, tracked down and caught in Miami, Florida, was charged with a double homicide in September of 2017 that claimed the lives of an 8-year-old boy, said to be completing homework at the time, and an adult male in the greater Chippenham area.
Young child whose life had only just begun, wasn't able to live his full life.
The two male victims caught a stray bullet after Pickering opened fire on another suspect he was pursuing at the time. Chief Superintendent of Police, Clint Skippings, recalls Pickering's escape shortly after being released on bail following a court appearance.
He would have left New Providence. I think he ended up in Bimini before making himself to the United States. You can run, but you can't hide. And I think our parents used to always use a little cliche that says every rope has an end. His rope has an end. And he must face the consequences for the actions that he took.
Skippings credits the U.S. Embassy and Homeland Security for their role in the capture. She says the reach of the Royal Bahamas Police Force extends far beyond the Bahamas.
Our reach as an organization extends far beyond the Bahamas, far beyond the Caribbean, internationally. And so if you feel that you're going to not answer to the charges for the crime that you've committed, I want you to know that we will get you. It may take a while, but we will get you.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
And you certainly got him.
Absolutely.
How was that able to happen?
Well, Clint, as you're aware, last week we hosted the 26th International of Interpol Conference here at Paradise Island. The first ever happened here in the Bahamas. And we discussed in those meetings, and it's dealing with transnational crime. We're talking about human smuggling, we're talking about drugs, firearm smuggling, and the trends that we noted that is happening around the world, and the sharing of information, timely sharing of information. Fugitive Interpol is high on that, and that's what it's all about. You see that played out, an example of that, what you played just now. That individual was on the run for the past 10 years. I was a chief superintendent in charge of CID then, and I visited that scene in the Chippenham area. And just to see that little young boy who was doing his homework in the dining room, the living room area of his residence, a wooden house, and the bullet penetrated the house, and he was struck to the head. Tears came to my eyes on that scene to see the young boy lying there. And this is what partnership is all about, collaboration. And that information was sent out for a while. From the time we got intel that he had left the country, that information was sent out. It was always an eyeball on him, but the timing was right, and they was able to catch him. He was in custody for a while, but they had him for immigration purposes, and the information was passed through. You know, documents have to be traded, and eventually he came here to answer the charge for 2 counts of murder.
That family must be happy to get some level of closure tonight.
Absolutely.
After seeing that.
Absolutely, and that's what Interpol is all about in terms of identifying trends around the world and building that relationship to continue to work together to make sure and to ensure that the world is safe. Nobody is safe unless all of us are safe.
You know, it's so important that we support the police. I always tell people, regardless of how negative you feel about them or how disappointed you are in them, the support of the public can only help to improve the work of the police force. Not supporting the police force doesn't help anyone at the end of the day.
Yeah, Clint, you are so absolutely correct, and we continue to preach that on a daily basis. We have to ensure that our officers, the approach, you know, sometimes I see it happen before, and you know, we correct it right there and then, but we have to remain professional. Everybody won't like you, Clint, and everybody won't support you. But the majority, the Bahamian people, love their police force. And we want to continue to partner with their police force to make this country a safe place for all of us and visitors who continue to come to our shores.
I want to take a break. When we come back, you're going to see it first here on The Rundown. We're going to show you a device. Wait, I'm going to tell you about this now. We're going to have on this desk a device that police have discovered on how they are breaking and stealing your car. and how they're able to drive off with their car. We're going to show you that device for the first time here in the Rundown after the break.
Welcome to our SBDC Business Tips, where we share valuable insights with small business owners. From practical advice to actionable tips, we're here to support you on your journey to success. Learn from failure. Failure is not the end. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. Don't be afraid to take risks and try new things, even if they don't always succeed. Use failure as a stepping stone to success by analyzing what went wrong, adjusting your approach, and trying again. Learn from your mistakes, adapt, and keep moving forward. Each setback presents an opportunity for growth and improvement. Remember, you've only failed when you've stopped trying. We hope you find these business tips helpful. To help your business reach its full potential, visit sbdcbahamas.com or give us a call at 242-461-SBDC.
JSC Bank, JMC TCI, and Sunset Village Fish Fry present I'm a Boatman, featuring Kami and Fred. D-Mac, Tino D, Nishi Ellis, Sweet Emily, Wilfred Sullivan, Funky D, DVS, Veronica Bishop, Papa Smurf, Sherrod Taylor, Lil Joe Cartwright, Mama D, Colin McDonough, Chad Cully, and the VIP. And from Turks Island, the Proficient Band, and host Super P. There'll also be performances by The Swinger and the Platinum Nights Junkanoo Crew. Sunday, October 13th at Sunset Village Fish Fry, 8 Mile Rock.
Sponsored by the Ministry of Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Tourism.
It's time to grow your church. Time to extend your message to all the islands in the Bahamas, into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and to the world via the ZNS app and website. It's time to broadcast your church's services on ZNS TV. To help you with that, ZNS has some exciting new packages with very good prices. It's time to call 502-3813 for details.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Welcome back to the Rundown. My guest is Commissioner of Police. In this segment, we want to talk about some of the new technology that people are using to steal your cars. If you're a victim of car theft, chances are they probably recently used this device to steal your car. Commissioner, explain to us how they're doing it now.
Yes, Clint. In recent time, we have had a number of vehicles being stolen. The vehicles of choice is the Japanese vehicle, the Note, the March.
The ones that we've been buying because they're affordable.
We know that. And they are being stolen and used in the commission of crime, especially the shootings. Sometimes it's like a scorch record when misskippings come on. A small car just was seen and gunman got out and fired shots. What we had noticed with the trend, the recovery of those vehicles is no longer where the ignition is dig out and hot wire.
The hot wire. They ain't hot wire no more.
No hot wire no more. They will smash the glass to get into the vehicle. This is a device, and you could purchase this online. Just an example. Go to service, and it will highlight all type of vehicle, the Ford, the Japanese, the Suzuki, and all you do, any keys, coded keys, you could pick up any keys, and you just press it here, and press the type of vehicle, and the system will direct you as to what to do. And eventually you just press the button to the vehicle and it starts.
Just like that.
So
and you just drive off.
As easy as that.
Wow.
And I want to invite the media houses so that we could do a demo and they could highlight this. the culprits are getting very crafty these days. So I will suggest to vehicle owners to try your best to secure your vehicle by placing alarms into your vehicle. Make sure that the alarm, whoever connects it, that once they enter, the alarm goes off. It will shut down the entire vehicle, so they will be unable to get the vehicle started. You could use a club, steering wheel club, to make it difficult for them to remove the vehicle. But please, and there's a number of Japanese vehicles that are out there because it's affordable, as mentioned, but you have to try your best to secure your vehicle while at home or going out to a grocery store, because it's quick. Smash the side glass in, connect a key to it, in seconds, it's out of there.
You come out with your grocery, no car?
And no car.
Wow. I'm just saying. We're winding up, Commissioner, but I know there's some good things that the police is doing. You have some major fundraisers coming up. Tell us about it so we can tell the public.
Yes, sir. I would like to invite the members of the public to our annual stakeout, which will be at the Police College on the 5th of October. We want the public to come out. We want to sit, to be able to talk to you. We want to hear from you. We want to continue to partner with you so that we could mend this relationship. The police force is all we have. The men and women of this great organization, they are from us. They are from our communities. That's our son, that's our daughters, that's your uncle.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to be able to connect. And we also preparing for a concert during the same month.
I like to call it the Battle of the Best Bands.
Yes.
Oh boy.
So we want to see you there and participate with us. And those persons of goodwill, with any ideas, initiative that we could come together to assist in mending this relationship, please do just that. We have some excellent, talented men and women who go above and beyond to serve this country. We have to look out too. We are human, and we have kids, we have families. It's so sad when citizens, some criminals, who continue to defame the character of officers.
Yes.
When the information is unfounded, unfounded, and it's hard for officers, and they have family and have to go home to their family to sit down to explain to them. So we want people who are doing this to please stop. We have a number of complaints with citizens that where this continue to happen to them on a daily basis. We want you to please desist from doing that. Whoever you may be, you know who you are. You know who you are. So please, let's stop it and let's work with your Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Commissioner, please thank you for being here tonight. We salute you and your fine officers for the work you're doing. Your communications team, you got the best. Chris and Skiffins and expectedly the best. You got it in communications over there.
And Clint,
they're over there. They're keeping you on point over there.
Absolutely, they're my right hand.
That's the entire team of the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
I just want to ensure and thank the men and women of this great noble organization for their continued support, not only to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, but by extension, the country. I do appreciate your service and your support to me as the leader at this time. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Oh, I know that well. I know that well. Thank you, Commissioner of Police. I want to say thank you to my sponsors where we go. Jamaica Bahama Imports, Collect, Lord, the church man talking about Collect. The I Am Boatman concert with KB and Friends, CBS, Little Caesars Pizza, Ace Hardware, the Small Business Development Center, and Bamboo Shack Express. If you didn't hear your company name called, then you know what you got to do. Call us and we will call your name. That does it for the rundown for the week. We're back here on Monday. We have an exciting show for you, the Valley Boys. boys. Well, which one? We'll find out on Monday. I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for joining us. Saxon's always open every door. Don't forget to join us, the Bahamas Night 11 with Royston Jones. He's opening every door. Saxon's in the house. Good night, everyone.